before your test. You should do this a number of times. When you're developing skills and vocabulary, you might want to practice listening more than once. This is fine when you are in training.
Okay. So the recording will be played only once. There would be no forward or rewind. I mean, button would be there so that you can forward or rewind it. It would be played only once. Okay. You'll never hear it for the second time. So what you need to do is you need to be very careful about whatever is coming through your way, and you have to immediately listen and immediately have to respond to it, okay, in written form. So now you must practice completing a full listening test, okay. Always try to do listening test at home, but you can always, start and you can rewind. I mean, you can see the things again and again. That is okay for the time when you're practicing, but for the training part it is okay, but you cannot do it in the test, okay. Now second point, requesting Rohan to please read it.
You will need to multitask. This means you must be able to read the questions, listen for the answer, and write down words all at the same time. You should practice doing this.
Okay.
Transferring your answers. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Your connection is a little, I mean, I would say we are not able to listen to you completely. So I'll be reading it again. You'll need to multitask. This means that you have to read questions, listen for the answer, and write down. I mean, three activities you have to do all together. I mean, in one go. So you don't feel it, but it is stressful. It is not so easy. When it comes on the third monologue, it becomes a little more difficult because you are doing three activities together: reading, writing, and speak. Reading, listening, and writing. Okay. Now, third point, requesting Jyotika to please read it.
Practice transferring your answers to the answer sheet at home before your test.
So,
If you don't,
hmm,
okay.
is it done?
Second, 6 points, fifth point, sir.
Fourth point, the third point. It's
Oh,
okay.
sorry, huh?
You need to do
Yes,
is transfer
answers
your
for.
answers whenever you are at home. I mean, you should have a fair idea of the answer sheet, how things has to be written on that. You should be having a fair idea. Okay. Fourth point, requesting Deepika to read.
You should write your answers on the answer sheet using pencil, not a pen. This is the same as the IELTS reading test.
Very important point that you should use only pencil, not a pen, because you can change the responses. Well, you can use a pen or not. Yes, you can use, but pencil is recommended. Okay. Now, next point. Pankaj, please read the next point.
Scores are calculated by the numbers of points you got correct. You do not lose a mark if your answer is wrong. Your score will not change due to incorrect answers.
So the incorrect answers which you'll be giving or you'll be taking or you'll be writing, these will not be, I mean, these would not be penalizing you. So you can write, I mean, you have the liberty to do the wrong answers. I mean, you can write those. Okay. Requesting Prachi to read the next point, sixth point.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Yes, yes. So who's speaking?
Deepika.
Yes, Deepika, please tell me.
So can you please elaborate this fifth point? Like
Fifth
what is
point.
that? Yeah.
Okay, fifth point means there is no negative marking. Okay, so whenever you are not, I mean, you are doing something incorrect also, so there would be no deductions. Okay,
Incorrect sense like what? So like what
like
incorrect?
for example, the answer for the first question is ABC, and you are writing DEF. Okay, so it will be incorrect. Okay, you will not get 1 marks for it, but no negative marking will be there. So you
Okay.
will not get minus zero point 0.5, minus zero point 0.3. You will not be getting like you will be not be getting like that. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on next. Okay, Prachi, requesting you to read the sixth point.
If you don't know an answer, guess. Always write something in the box, and if on your answer sheet, who knows, it may be right.
Okay, that's good. So if you don't know an answer, you should always guess. Now, I'll be telling you one thing, that whenever you are guessing, guess it rightly. I mean spontaneously at that point of time. If you're not guessing it at that point of time and you are thinking that I will be guessing later on when the entire thing will be completed, sorry to say, but you will lose it because you will forget it. So immediately scribble 1 or 2 letters immediately and move on. Okay. Now, next point, requesting Kanika.
You can write your answer using capital or lower case letters.
Okay, so the query is resolved already. Okay, 8 point, you can read it again, Kanika.
Check the number of words you can have for your answer. Each time the question type changes, the number of words for the answer might change too. Here is an example of instructions. No more than two words and or a number. To learn exactly what these instructions mean, please watch the video lessons above.
Okay, there is a video lesson also which I can share, but that is not so relevant. So I would be telling you that no more than two words if it is written. So you will not write the third letter or. I'll tell you one thing that it is very clear that in IELTS you will be getting either one or zero. So there are no gray areas, either black or white. So considering this, you should follow the instructions very carefully. If it is written two words, do not cross two words, do not write three words. Okay. Now next is okay. Now Jyotika, you can read the next one.
The ninth point, sir.
Yes, nine.
Check the instruction to see if you can have a number, which means only one, or numbers, plural, which means more than one number.
That's very
Can
important. See, the instructions will be clearly mentioning that no more than one word or numbers or number. So numbers means plural. So you can write plural or not. That will be defined in the instructions itself. Okay. Now let's move on to the 10th point. Okay, requesting Pankaj ji. Okay, requesting Deepika. Deepika, please read the 10th point.
How words and numbers are calculated. A date 1950 is considered one number. A large number 1500 second. Sorry.
500 is considered as one word. Okay, next.
Considered one word.
A hyphenated word.
So actually I cannot see. A hyphenated word part-time is considered one word. A compound noun which is non-hyphenated, tennis shoe, is considered two words.
So now how words or numbers are calculated? For example, a date 1950 is considered as one number, and now there's a large number. It can be considered as one word also. Now a hyphenated word means there's a hyphen in between, like you can see part-time. So what is part-time? Part-time is connected by a hyphen. Okay. So when it is hyphenated, so it will be considered as one word, not two words. But there is a confusion between a hyphenated word and a compound noun. What is a compound noun? When two nouns are joined together. Like for example, tennis shoe. Tennis shoe is a shoe for playing tennis, right? So tennis is a noun, shoe is a noun. Both are noun, that's why these are called as compound noun. There can be another example like wooden boat. So boat which is made up of wood. So wood is also noun, boat is also noun. So these type of compound nouns in which hyphen wouldn't be there, they'll not be considered as one word. They'll be considered as two words. Okay, let's move on further and requesting Prachi to read the next one. Okay, Prachi, you can read the next one. Okay, requesting Rohan. Rohan, are you there?
yes, sir.
Please read it.
So the 11th one.
Yes.
At the hospital or hospital, should you write the article and preposition? Your answer will depend on the type of question you have. If you are completing the sentence, for example, the best place to meet is dash. The answer must be grammatically correct, so you need at the hospital. If the question is a note or form completion, such each one place, the answer can be just one word with or without the article hospital or the hospital. If two
Oh,
words are possible.
right. So see, at the hospital or hospital means you should be grammatically right as far as the sentence is concerned. Whenever I mean this type of sentence will be there, that would be something like fill in the blank. So you should be grammatically correct. Now, whenever there would be a form completion type of thing like this place, so obviously because I mean it is you can see that there is a colon in between, and now what has to be filled here is hospital. Okay, not at the hospital. So this should be grammatically right. Now, next point is spelling. Okay, requesting Pankaj ji to please read spelling.
spelling. If you are answering is spelling wrong, the answer is marked wrong, you must have to correct spelling to get a point and have the answer correct.
Okay, that's good. So spellings, I mean, you cannot
Uh,
do wrong. I mean, spelling is very important in IELTS. See, like if there would be difficult spelling like Mediterranean Sea, so what you'll be doing? You'll be writing some Mediterranean Sea, like you will be writing the complete spelling. If you are wrong at any place, it will be marked as zero. Yes, Deepika, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please tell me.
So can you please roll it down to the 11th point?
Okay, learn point. Okay, yes, please tell me.
Sir, if in this like fill up is there, the best place to meet is we have, as you said that we have to write it grammatically correct at the hospital. But if the question says that we have to write, we do not have to write more than one word. We just have to write one word. So then can we write hospital or still we have to write at the
No,
hospital?
don't worry. The question, the instructions will be already be taken care.
इधर आजा पूनम.
Requesting Pankaj to please go on mute. Okay, so it is like the best place to meet is at the hospital. It is three words. So don't worry, the instructions would definitely be having this point, three words. Okay. So if it wouldn't be there, then this question will not be there. Okay. Don't look for that part. Now, next thing is spelling. Spelling is very important, as I told you, that if the spelling is a little difficult for you, always do one thing. Quickly, while you are listening to it, if there is Mediterranean Sea which is coming in front of you, what we'll be saying is like MDTC and move out quickly, because you have time later on. 10 minutes you have spare 10 minutes are there to transfer your answers. So what you can do is you can always use those 10 minutes to write complete spellings. Do not get stuck in spellings at that point of time. Quickly write like a shorthand and move on. Okay. So now let's move on to the next part, that is 13th part. Okay. Requesting Jyotika to please read it.
Yes. Writing letters or words. If you get a multiple choice question, it will ask you to write down the letter as your answer. For example, number 1, spring, number 2, summer, number 3, winter, number 4. If the answer is B, you must write B on your answer sheet, not summer. The word summer would be marked wrong because the instruction asks you to write a letter, not a word.
Yes. So instruction is to write a letter, not a word. So we'll be writing a letter. But what happens many of the times we write summer and move out. So how to avoid this mistake? Every time whenever you will be doing listening, always carry a listening answer sheet, get a printout, and then always try to put your answers in that, so that you will be practicing fairly in a good way, so that you would be easily be getting into a practice of writing the right way, in a right way, right? Okay. So let's move on to the next part, that is 14, because I would be reading it. So yeah, it's listening type of questions. There would be various type of questions which will be seeing it very soon. So it is like form completion, note completion, summary completion, sentence completion, multiple choice, diagram labeling, map labeling, table completion, form chart. So there are various types of listenings are there in IELTS. Don't get scared by seeing these n number of listening types. It is these are actually almost like the same. If you have a habit of understanding, the accent which you'll be getting after having some practice, so you'll be doing each one of those very easily. Okay. The only problem is to understand the last one. Okay, because it's generally an academic topic. Now, let's move on next. Okay, so don't try to understand everything. That means in IELTS, if the topic is very good, so don't get entangled to the topic. Oh, that's a good topic. We are discussing about elephants or we are discussing about rockets. Wow. So it's my favorite subject. So don't get into that much. You just have to get your answers and move on. You have to be focused. Now, sometimes answers may come quick. So what will happen? You will be getting three answers in a very short time. Get ready to write your answers quickly. Answers may come slowly also. So there may be a gap between answers, but don't panic. This is common in section 4. So what happens in section 4? Sometimes you'll be listening, and nothing will come. Then you'll say, "Oh my God, nothing is coming. What I do?" Then suddenly what you'll be seeing is that one will come, two will come, three will come, and you'll be chasing the trail of the first one, and two more will be lost. So ideally, it is recommended that not to chase the trail of the first one, and not to not to panic. And while three comes, be ready to write quickly and move out. Okay. 17 point. Look out the answers which are plural. So IELTS know that students have difficulty in hearing the plurals. So there will be a test of plurals also. So most of the time you'll be finding it like there would be like individual or individuals, people or peoples. I mean, lot many things would be there. So it can really cause a trouble for you. The common problems are like change of response. 18 point. So actually, what happens is sometimes it will be saying that okay, is it okay to meet at 7 p.m.? So you'll be saying yes, 7 p.m. is works fine with me. Then you'll say that, oh, I've just remembered that I have a late meeting. Could you please make it half past instead? Half past instead means 7:30. So what will happen? 7:30 means what? I mean, you are changing a response. The conversation. I mean, those people, who are there in the conversation, they're actually changing the responses, and you would have ticked by that time A, B, C, and the answer is not A, B, C. It is D, E, F, something else. Okay, so you have to be cautious about this. If you miss an answer, just move on. As I told you, do not chase the trail. If you're chasing something, you'll waste your time and you'll do more incorrect responses. I mean, you'll be definitely be doing what, you'll be getting into trouble. Now next is concentrate. 30 minutes are sufficient. So it is just like 30 minutes are sufficient. You can easily be doing it. Okay, now what we'll be doing is we'll be now moving on to the third thing, that is we'll be discussing about the type of listenings which comes in the exam. So we'll be starting that. Just a minute, give me 1 minute. I hope it is clearly visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, people. So now we'll be starting with the IELTS listening types, as you can see. Okay, so let's start this. So these are the listening types, type of listening questions, as you can see. Matching information. Just a minute, give me 1 minute, please. Okay, it is like this. So matching information, multiple choice question, sentence completion, form completion, and then note completion. There are a lot many different types of listening will be there. Okay, so now listening can be of various types. Now, table completion, summary completion, short answer questions, map, diagram, labeling, diagram, flowchart completion. So what it looks like, I'll be telling you in detail. Don't worry. So it is like first you can see that this is sentence completion. Okay. So now people, I would be playing an audio, which would be you need to check like whether it is audible to you or not. So we'll be testing it just a minute. Okay, so can you see the sentence completion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm playing the audio. Please tell me if it is clearly audible to you or not.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was,
Okay, so was it audible?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I'm playing it, and now please tell me the answers. Before playing it, I'll be giving you some time to look towards these questions. Please look towards these questions. Okay, I'm playing it.
the other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the Open University?
You mean because you're studying on your own most of the time? Well, it took me a while to get used to it. I found I needed to maintain a high level of motivation because it's so different from school. There's no one saying, "Why haven't you written your assignment yet?" and that sort of thing.
Oh dear.
You'll learn it, Paul. Another thing was that I got very good at time management because I had to fit time for studying round a full-time job.
Well, I'm hoping to change to working part-time, so that'll help.
What makes it easier is that the degree is made up of modules, so you can take time off between them if you need to. It isn't like a traditional 3 or 4 year course where you've got to do the whole thing of it in one go.
Oh, that's good, because I'd like to spend 6 months traveling next year.
Huh, it's all right for some. Then, even though you're mostly studying at home, remember you've got tutors to help you. And from time to time, there are summer schools. They usually last a week. They're great because you meet all the other people struggling with the same things as you.
Oh,
I've made some really good friends that way.
sounds good. So how do I apply?
Okay, so what's the answer for the first one?
So maybe time management.
Which is for the second one. What is it for the first one?
Okay.
Time motivation.
Motivation. Okay, yes. What is for the third one? First answer is motivation, second is time management. What is for the third one?
Modules.
Yes, modules. Fourth is,
Summer school.
yeah, no, okay. So this is sentence completion. As you can see, there is a sentence which is incomplete. You are going to complete it. So this is one type of ice this thing. Now let's see what's the next type of multiple choice question. Okay, just please go through this. So as you can see, there are multiple choice like A, B, C. This is the choice which you have to fit in one in front of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have will be having the answers of A, B, or C. Please read it carefully. I'll be giving you 30 seconds to read it.
Sir, your voice is very low.
Okay, don't worry, but the audio is clear, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Audio will be clear, don't worry. I've placed the mic a little far, don't worry. Please read it.
Um, but have you changed the screen because I'm seeing the same screen.
Excuse me.
So the screen is not changed. It's the same that it's showing.
I'm not understanding what you are saying. Please be loud.
So you are on the same page.
Okay, I'm on the same page. Definitely.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
don't worry, don't worry. I'll be-
it's visible now.
You
Okay,
will hear a communication.
now new one is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Just 10 seconds to read it quickly. And now requesting everyone to go on mute. Okay, let's start.
You will hear a communication studies student
talking to his tutor about optional courses for the next semester. Come in. Oh, hello, Jack. Have a seat. Right. You said you wanted to see me to talk about your options next semester?
That's right. We have to decide by the end of next week. Really, I'd like to do all 5 options, but we have to choose 2, don't we?
Yes, but the choice depends on your major to some extent. You're majoring in communication studies, aren't you?
That's right.
So, for example, the media studies option will cover quite a lot of the same area you did in the core module on mass communications this semester, the development of the media through the last 2 centuries in relation to political and social issues.
Well, that was interesting, but I've decided I'd rather do something completely new. There's a women's studies option, isn't there?
Yes, women and power. Again, it has a historical focus. It aims to contextualize women's studies by looking at the legal and social situation in the 19th and early 20th centuries.
So it would be useful if I intended to specialize in women's studies, but I'm not sure I do actually.
Well, it might still be useful to give you an idea of the issues involved. It's taught by Dr. Steed.
Oh, really? I'll sign up for that then. What about the option on culture and society?
That addresses the historical debate on the place of culture since the Industrial Revolution in Britain.
So a historical focus again?
Do I get the message you're not so keen on history?
Well, it's just that we seem to have done quite a lot this semester. Anyway, I'll think about that one.
If you're interested in a course focusing on current issues, there's the option on identity and popular culture that approaches the subject through things like contemporary film, adverts, soap operas, and so on.
That sounds interesting. Can you tell me who runs it?
Well, it's normally Dr. Stevens, but he's on sabbatical next semester, so I'm not sure who will be running it. It should be decided by next week, though.
Right. Well, I might wait until then to decide. And the last option is Introduction to Cultural Theory, isn't it? I'm quite interested in that too. I was talking to one of the second-year students, and she said it was really useful. It made a lot of things fall into place.
Yes, but in fact, in your major, you'll have covered a lot of that already in Communications 102, so that might be less useful than some of the others.
Hello? Hello, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You've done it?
Yeah.
It was really going on. Okay, so tell me, what's the answer for the first one?
C.
Okay, B.
C.
C, okay, that's right. What's the answer for the second one?
A.
B.
It's A. Next is culture and society. Third. What's the answer?
B.
Okay, what's the answer for the fourth one?
B.
And what's the answer for the next one? Fifth one?
I'm not sure, sir. I think A.
Okay. C, A, B, B, C. Its last is C.
Last is C.
C as in Charlie. So, C, Charlie. First is Charlie. Then A, C, A. Then second is A. Women in power, it's he will definitely do it. Then, culture and society, B, bravo. Fourth, B, bravo. Fifth, this C.
So what's the second one?
A, alpha. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Here.
Next one. So these are matching questions, as you can see. So which hotel matches your each description? So there are 5 things, as you can see, A, B, C, D, E. Now you have to put those into 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is matching question. Okay, shall I play it? Very simple.
Yes, sir.
Please read it. Okay.
We hear a man talking to an official at a tourist information office. Can I help you?
Yes, I was wanting somewhere to stay for a few days. A 4 or 5-star hotel. Can you tell me something about the possibilities?
Okay. Right. Well, there are 5 hotels that might interest you. Were you wanting a city centre location, or would you be interested in something a bit further out?
Guys, you are not getting it. You are, oh, sorry. Just a minute. You are not able to see this, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So just a minute.
You will hear a man.
Okay, now can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
let me do it everything. Okay. So let's play. You can see first. The questions are down there. One, two, three, four. These are the questions. Okay. Shall I start?
Yes.
Okay.
You will hear a man talking to an official at a tourist information office.
Can I help you?
Yes, I was wanting somewhere to stay for a few days. A 4 or 5-star hotel. Can you tell me something about the possibilities?
Okay. Right. Well, there are 5 hotels that might interest you. Were you wanting a city centre location, or would you be interested in something a bit further out?
Well, I do have a car, so I could go for either.
Well, there are 2 central hotels in the range you're looking for. There's Carlton House and the Imperial. They're both near the main square. But if you've got your own transport, you might be interested in the Royal Oak. That's out in the country, about 10 kilometres away. Very peaceful. Then there's the Bridge Hotel and the Majestic. They're both in town, but not in the centre. They're out on the airport road.
That might be a bit far out, actually. Okay, now the other 2 you mentioned in the city centre. Can you tell me a bit about them?
Well, they're both excellent hotels. If you want something with a bit of character, Carlton House is quite unusual. It's a very old building that was originally a large private house. It was bought by the Vannies chain, and they completely refurbished it. They took their first guests just a few months ago, but it's already got an excellent reputation. That's a 5-star hotel. Or there's the Imperial, which is a much more modern building. That also has its own gym, and it also has internet connection and meeting rooms. It's used for conferences and corporate events as well as private guests. That's 5-star as well.
Does it have a swimming pool as well as a gym?
No, the Royal Oak has an outdoor pool, which is lovely in the summer, but the only hotel with an indoor pool is the Bridge Hotel. It doesn't have a gym, though. The Majestic is planning to build a swimming pool and a fitness centre, but it's not finished yet.
I see. Well, I think I'll probably go for one of the city centre hotels.
Okay, what's your answer?
So first one is Royal Oak.
E.
Okay, that's right.
Second one is B.
Okay.
Yes, Carlton House. Third one is Imperial.
Third one is C.
Yes, third one is C.
And fourth one is
And
A.
Yes, EDCA. That's right. So E,
yes,
why E? Because C, countryside. What's countryside? Countryside means village type. So it is what?
rural areas.
So IELTS uses a lot of, what they uses a lot of onions. Opened recently, refurbished. Okay. So there is swimming pool and also business functions. And indoor pool, it's only there. That's the Bridge Hotel. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, can you see this map or diagram in front of you? Okay, so let's see. Okay, guys. Okay, let's start.
You'll hear the librarian of a new town library talking to a group of people who are visiting the library.
Okay, copy this. ABCDFE. Now the next one is actually it is a list again, right? It is not E, it is H and F. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Reference books is H. Tourist information is I. Please correct it for your reference, and then you give the answer.
Sir, can you just zoom it a bit?
Zooming is not possible. Please just a
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I've zoomed it. Is it okay now?
It is still the same.
Okay. Zoomed it. Okay, so I'm playing it now.
You hear the librarian of a new town library talking to a group of people who are visiting the library. Okay, everyone. So, here we are at the entrance to the town library. My name is Anne, and I'm the chief librarian here. And you'll usually find me at the desk just by the main entrance here. So, I'd like to tell you a bit about the way the library is organised and what you'll find where. And you should all have a plan in front of you. Well, as you see, my desk is just on your right as you go in. And opposite this, the first room on your left has an excellent collection of reference books and is also a place where people can read or study peacefully. Just beyond the librarian's desk on the right is a room where we have up-to-date periodicals such as newspapers and magazines. And this room also has a photocopier, in case you want to copy any of the articles. If you carry straight on, you'll come into a large room, and this is the main library area. There is fiction in the shelves on the left, and non-fiction materials on your right, and on the shelves on the far wall, there is an excellent collection of books relating to local history. We're hoping to add a section on local tourist attractions too, later in the year. Through the far door in the library, just past the fiction shelves, is a seminar room, and that can be booked for meetings or talks. And next door to that is the children's library, which has a good collection of stories and picture books for the under 11s. Then there's a large room to the right of the library area. That's the multimedia collection, where you can borrow DVDs and so on. And we also have CD-ROMs you can borrow to use on your computer at home. It was originally the art collection, but that's been moved to another building. And that's about it. Oh, there's also the library office on the left of the librarian's desk. Okay, now, does anyone have any questions? Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay, so what are the answers? What are the answers? First one?
E, sir.
First
It's
one
E.
is H.
Okay.
So GH, reference books. What's the next one? Second question.
But I wrote the same. Okay.
Second question.
F, sir.
So it's G, periodicals. First
Did you?
is there at the back. Second is G, G means periodicals. Third is
E.
yes, E as in Delta. Then fourth is
Fourth one is B.
yes, children's book. What is fifth one?
F.
This is information.
FCA.
Okay, so this is called diagram or map labeling.
Sir, what's the third one?
Local history.
Yeah,
Okay,
D.
let's go to the next one now. This is more it is coming in front of you. But now we are going to talk about more completion. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very simple. You can start immediately. Okay, we are starting immediately.
You will see that there is an example which has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first. Rawlings Insurance. Good morning, can I help you?
Oh, hello. I'm ringing to report an accident.
A car accident?
Yes.
Just hold the line a moment, please. I'm putting you through to our motor insurance department. The insurance company representative is putting the client through to the motor insurance department, so motor insurance has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 7. Rawlings Insurance. Good morning, can I help you?
Oh, hello. I'm ringing to report an accident.
A car accident?
Yes.
Just hold the line a moment, please. I'm putting you through to our motor insurance department. Hello?
Hello?
I understand you want to report an accident.
Yes. My car's been damaged. Someone came out in front of me.
Could I just check a few personal details before we go any further?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Your name, first of all.
It's Elizabeth Rickard.
Is that Rikard?
It's spelt with a C, not a K.
Oh, okay. And your date of birth, please.
It's the 8th of October, 1975.
And lastly, I just need to check your address.
Oh, actually, I moved house last month, so the street name's different. It's 60 Forest Road. I think you've got 22 Ash Avenue on your records.
I have, so I'll just make a note of that. That's fine. And is that in the same town still, Callington?
That's right.
Right. Now, do you have your insurance policy in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Can you give me the policy number, please? It's at the top.
Oh, yes. 50924.
It's in a box. It should start with letters.
Oh, CZ8809?
That's the one. And now I want to ask you about the accident itself. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
First of all, did it happen today?
No, it happened yesterday evening, but by the time I got home it was late, so I didn't call.
That's not a problem. So, let's see. Today's the 13th of September, so it happened on the 12th. Is that right?
It is.
Do you know approximately what time the accident occurred?
Oh dear, I wasn't wearing a watch and I was a bit shocked, but I'd say it was between 8:15 and 8:45.
That's okay. I'll just record that it happened at about 8:30. It doesn't matter exactly. And I don't suppose you've got any supporting evidence, have you? I mean, witness statements, that kind of thing.
I don't have witness statements, I'm afraid, but I've got a police report. They came and measured up and checked the marks on the road, but unfortunately nobody else was around at the time of the accident.
Any hospital report?
No.
So I take it you don't have any medical problems then? Any injuries?
Only minor ones. It was mainly the car that got damaged, luckily.
Absolutely. But we do recommend that you have a checkup anyway, within 24 hours if possible.
Yes, okay. I'll make an appointment today.
Fine. And now,
Okay, people. It's done. What are the answers? What's the first one?
Vickard, sir.
Second?
64 Forest Road.
Okay. Policy number?
That is CZ8809.
Is it right?
Which one? CZ? 8809. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please read the answer. Please read the answer.
So the policy number is CZ8809.
Yes, it's right. What's the date?
And it's 12th September.
Time,
8:30.
putting evidence.
No, sir.
Okay, medical problems.
So minor injuries.
Okay.
So
So
what
guys,
is the answer for sixth one?
should be what supporting evidence? Yes, please tell me.
What is the answer for sixth one? Supporting evidence.
I have to check myself once. Okay, because it's in the last part of the slide. Okay, rest all you have done correctly. I'll be checking you and telling you that. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. It is note completion. Now let's see what next is there. Which is table completion. Okay, that's not so easy one. So I mean, I would be telling you to be a little more vigilant this time. Okay, let's start this. Please read it once. Yes, please.
Sir, I am on the same page.
Oh, just a minute. Good that you reminded me.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Okay, let's start. Now it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's start then. Take your time. Look carefully. Okay, so shall I play? Okay, all the best.
Now listen to questions 15 to 20.
5 to 10.
Now I'm going to tell you about some of the more popular opportunities in a bit more detail. One of the most popular volunteering choices is teaching. You'll find a warm welcome awaits you from our students around the world. The main thing you will do is assisting with English conversation, because although the local teachers are very capable of teaching the structural aspects of the English language, such as the grammar, they do not use the correct intonation or pronunciation because they lack the confidence of a native speaker. By providing conversational English teaching, you can greatly enhance the learning experience of thousands of children and adults with whom we work in the developing world. You can also volunteer in agriculture and farming. Access to safe and healthy food is a major concern of any society. Volunteers work on a farm with the aim of promoting sustainable local food sources and responsible farming. Using pesticides and other destructive agricultural techniques can have a long-term negative impact on the environment and threaten the future well-being of whole regions. Time Abroad's agricultural and farming projects focus on organic farming practices and educating local communities on their benefits. You could also volunteer in the field of veterinary medicine. If you do this, you will be working alongside a vet in a local veterinary practice. You will help the vet when people bring in sick animals or join the vet on visits to people's houses or other places. You will gain fantastic insight that would not be possible in your own country. You are likely to see many exciting types of animals, like snakes, big cats, or even elephants. And you will develop a better understanding of the problems people are faced with in both urban and rural areas of the third world. So, I hope that's helped you to learn a bit more about time abroad. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, guys, what's the answers for the fifth one?
Which chapter?
So conversation
Okay,
or grammar?
okay, sixth one.
So English speaking.
Perfect. What is the next one?
So that is responsible farming.
promoting sustainable and responsible farming. 8,
8 one is organic farming.
right? 9.
9 one is sickness.
What about other people? You are not responding to it. What is 10?
10 is opportunities. I think so.
I think understanding. Then
Understanding. Right.
So what is the answer?
Understanding.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is called summary completion. So what is summary completion? There will be behavior of dolphins as you can see with lens. Just a minute. I'll be re-showing it to you. Okay, so can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So as you can see, behavior of dolphins, socializing, culture, these all things are summary of the thing which is going to get spoken. Okay, so let's read it first, then we'll be starting. Please read it. Okay, let's start.
Now listen and answer questions 31 to 40. Okay, today's lecture is about the behavior of dolphins. Dolphins are mammals closely related to whales and porpoises. There are almost 40 species of dolphin, and they vary in size from 1.2 meters and 90 pounds up to 9.5 meters and 10 tons. They are found in shallower seas of the continental shelves, and they are carnivores, eating mostly fish and squid. Dolphins are highly social animals, often living in pods of up to a dozen individuals, though pod sizes and structures vary greatly between species and locations. In places with a high abundance of food, pods can merge temporarily, forming a superpod, which groupings may exceed 1,000 dolphins. Membership in pods is not rigid, with interchange being common. Dolphins can, however, establish strong social bonds. They will stay with injured or ill individuals, even helping them to breathe and bringing them to the surface if needed. This altruism does not appear to be limited to their own species. A male dolphin called Moko in New Zealand was observed guiding a female pygmy sperm whale together with her calf out of shallow water where they had been stranded several times. Dolphins have also been seen protecting swimmers from sharks by swimming circles around the swimmers or charging the sharks to make them leave. Dolphins also display culture, something long believed to be unique to humans and possibly other primate species. In May 2005, a discovery in Australia found Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphins teaching their young to use tools. They cover their snouts with sponges to protect them while foraging for food. This knowledge is mostly transferred by mothers to daughters, unlike primates, where knowledge is generally passed on to both sexes. Using sponges as mouth protection is a learned behavior. Another learned behavior was discovered among river dolphins in Brazil, where some male dolphins use weeds and sticks as part of a sexual display. Dolphins may also engage in acts of aggression towards each other. The older a male dolphin is, the more likely his body is to be covered with bite scars. Male dolphins engage in acts of aggression apparently for the same reasons as humans, that is, disputes between companions and competition for females. Acts of aggression can become so intense that targeted dolphins sometimes go into exile after losing a fight. Male bottlenose dolphins have also been known to engage in infanticide, which is the killing of their young. Dolphins have also been known to kill porpoises for reasons which are not fully understood, as porpoises generally do not share the same diet as dolphins and are therefore not competitors for food supplies.
Okay, so what's the answer for the first one? Was it difficult?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, it was fast also, right? So can
yeah.
you
Yes.
tell the answer of first one? It's worldwide. Second,
So 1000.
okay. Third,
Shark.
no, shallow water. Fourth,
Sponges, something was there?
third, shallow waters. Third, and fourth is use tools. Fifth
The
is
tools.
fifth is both sexes. Sixth is
Oh,
companions.
so it was
Okay.
difficult.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
It's
This is the
difficult how.
completion. Okay, can you see the diagram? Just a minute, I'll be sharing it. Okay, can you see the diagram?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Can you read it easily? It is a meteorological station. Information is analyzed and now float record changes in salinity and dash dash dash. Float dropped into ocean and dash dash. So board is there and there is a meteorological station, there is a global satellite. Okay. So no more than three words and or a number, as I told you, right? So these are the questions 25th, 23rd, 25, and these 24 in between. Here, it is missing. Okay, so just to show you that this is diagram completion, I'm not running it. Okay, just to show you that this is diagram completion. Or you want to do it?
No,
Okay, let's do it.
Building just was working in the world's oceans. Too big for one country to undertake? That's quite true, but
It's not working.
no, it's not audible.
Last one. You can see the flow chart. I'll be showing you the next one. Okay. Okay, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Please read it carefully. Okay, I'm playing it.
Now, I've emphasized how much pleasure I get out of running my own business, but of course, one of the quickest ways to lose heart is to try operating without sufficient capital. So, in the second part of my talk, I want to share with you how I got enough money to finance my business. The most significant part of my capital came from a grant from the Small Business Agency, or SBA, as everyone calls it. And this is how you go about getting it. The first thing you have to do is to draw up a business plan. Now, don't make this too long and complicated. I would say it should just be up to 2 pages in length. I've seen some people's efforts go up to 10 pages. Well, frankly, I don't think anyone will read it if it's that long. The next thing is it's worthwhile getting it checked. Now, don't rely on an accountant for this. Your best bet is to go to your bank and get them to look through it. Only if they're happy should you go ahead with your application. If all is well, then you should finalize your submission. Then your next step is to send it to the SBA. Now, they advise you not to do this by email, but by post. However, they say this situation might change in the near future. So, when the SBA receive your grant application, they'll judge whether your business idea is interesting, that is, likely to benefit from their grant. If they think it's good, they'll invite you to interview. And then the successful candidates can get a maximum of £20,000. I got £18,000, which wasn't quite the top amount, but still enormously useful, as you can imagine. Now, if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Okay, people, so what's the answer for the first one?
The plan.
Plan? Okay. What's the next one?
2.
2.
Next one?
Bank.
Bank.
Next one?
Post.
Fine. Post or
Post.
mail? Okay. Fine.
Sorry.
Fine.
Interview.
Okay. 10.
20,000.
20,000.
20,000.
Perfect. First flow chart. Okay. So these are all the types of listings are there. Okay. So and now we'll just build the topic of the session today. Okay. So let's meet on Monday now. The next session will be on Monday, but tomorrow we'll be getting a mock test. Everybody will be getting a mock test. You have to do it and then you have to send it back to us before Monday. Okay, so by the end of Sunday, you can send it. You have good number of days, so you'll be getting the mock test tomorrow. Okay. Okay, then all the best, people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.